virtual reality, it's everywhere it seems, especially at CES 2018. Oscar, what are we looking at with Tobii?
So Tobii is the world's largest eye tracking company. So we implement eye tracking into PCs, gaming PCs, VR headsets, AR headsets, and smartphones.
And it's amazing because, I mean, this is technology that's been around for a long time in the research world, right? But now it seems like it's really going to the consumer level.
Yeah, it's been around for research and people with disabilities, and now it's really going into the consumer world. So we're in consumer devices with Dell and Alienware on the PC gaming side, but now we have a very, very large traction on the VR and AR side.
Let's talk about the gaming for a second, then we'll get into the VR, that you actually have your technology built into the laptop, right?
Yes, it's built into the laptop, which makes playing games on that laptop more immersive. It also makes the laptop understand the user in a better way. So on this laptop from Dell, for example, if you just place yourself in front of it, it will automatically log you in via Face ID. It will also know if you're looking at the screen. If you look away from the screen, it will dim the screen. If you don't look at the keyboard will be unlit. If you look at the keyboard, it will light up. So it's the device that understands the user and becomes smarter, and therefore can be more immersive to use.
I would imagine from a research perspective, just understanding how people are looking at web pages and so forth, now you could actually know, are they looking at how do they use this in the real world for researching, how people are using websites and so forth?
Yeah, no, we have an entire business unit focused on that particular point. So it's researching websites, it's pack research, it is store layout. You put a pair of glasses on, you walk around the store and you see exactly what package did people look at and did not look at. So we have an entire, and it's kind of understanding human behavior. So autism prediction, for example. So it's a big business unit around that.
And it just seems like it could go into the consumer world as well with the ubiquitous technology.
It's already in the consumer world. I mean, we launched with Dell, we launched with Acer, we launched with Huawei, a smartphone, and now we have huge traction in AR, VR. And in AR, VR, it's two things. One, it's improved experiences, so the way you interact. For example, any social interaction between humans is based on eye contact, but VR headsets don't know where the users are looking. So in a multiplayer game, you would have the 1,000-mile stare of all the characters. They would just like stare straight ahead of me. That would be like I'm speaking to you like this. I'm looking in the other direction because I don't understand that I should really look into the camera. Or, I mean, any form of targeting. Imagine a sports game when you want to pass the ball to the football player over there. What do? Well, in the real world, you look at them and then you kick the ball to it. How do you do that type of interaction in a VR headset without eye tracking? You were like, yeah, I'm running in this direction, then I try to point to that player with the forehead, very cumbersome. Or I'm running in this direction and I stick out my hand controller and point to the person, very, very unimmersive as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to look at it, and when I was in that VR demo, you told me it would be the best I'd seen, and it was very impressive. I think maybe it was the most realistic feeling. How do you integrate the eye tracking technology in that VR headset we just saw?
So we integrated it. We place cameras close to your nose, facing forward, and then there is a reflective hot mirror before the display that reflects the light back through the lens. And then we have illuminators in a ring around it. And then we have our own ASIC, which does the processing and pipes the XY coordinates back to the PC.
So is it something that gets integrated into the VR headset? Is it something you license? How does that process work?
Yeah, I mean, we engage with the headset manufacturers. So we engage with a very large portion of the big ones right now. And we have a reference design. It's a little bit customization because all the headsets are a little bit different. And then we do that customization, and then we add the software and the algorithms and the hardware into the headset.
That's exciting, and clearly there's lots of other use cases that it seems like every day we're hearing about them.
I mean, it's a real groundswell. I mean, you see it in VR, you see it in AR, you see it in PC, you see it in smartphones, you see it in automotive, you see it with people with disability, you see it in research. So it's a very big thing. I mean, if you talk about trends, what Apple did with their iPhone X was basically they integrated a user-facing cameras, which does Face ID and emojis. That is an early form of eye tracking, or any way of facing the user. And Apple's own tagline is, well, what can be more natural than touch? Well, just to look. And that's just onto the same kind of direction as we're doing. That's what we've been preaching for quite some time. Microsoft has also done the same. They integrated eye tracking support into Windows Core OS for accessibility. So they're onto the same thing as well. And then you have both Google and Facebook buying eye tracking companies, and Apple also buying an eye tracking company. So it's a big, big groundswell for eye tracking into a vast number of applications.
Excellent. Well, Oscar, I really appreciate your explanation.
All right. Thanks.